Hi guys, we're moving on to the second lesson for this week, and it's called dividing rational functions. Very similar to multiplying, except for one small thing. So we have a little definition up here for dividing rational expressions. We multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so I'm going to take the reciprocal and then I'm going to multiply. So that's how I divide fractions. Remember, if I'm dividing fractions, I take the second one and I flip it, and then it turns to multiplication. So what that means here, let me zoom in here. Okay, I'm going to take this second fraction, I'm going to flip it, take the reciprocal, right? The top becomes the bottom, bottom becomes the top. Numerator becomes the denominator, denominator becomes the numerator. We're going to flip it, and then it becomes multiplication. So if I rewrite this problem, it would be 12c squared d over 5a squared b squared times 10ab over c squared d squared. Okay, so now this is the problem I have to solve. Now that I've made that flip, it's just like last lesson. I'm doing exactly the same thing. So here we go. I'm going to simplify. So 5 goes into 5 once and into 10 twice. I've got, and then I'm going to move my variables down here and do them. So I've got 1a, 1b, 2 c's, and 1 d. And then I have, in the denominator, I've got 2 a's, 2 b's, 2 c's, and 2 d's. Okay, so now let's see what we get. 1a goes away, 1b goes away, both the c's and 1d. So I have no variables left in the numerator, so that means I've got 12 times 2 is 24. And I have no numbers left in the denominator, so that means I have a, b, and d. A, b, d. And there's your answer. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do some examples, and we are going to let you go just like what we've been doing. This is how we're going to be pretty steady in how we do our lessons. So it's going to be at least how I'm doing it. The other teachers might be using my videos, so I'm sorry if I'm saying the Nearpods and you guys are not using the Nearpods, but it'll be fairly close to doing the same thing. So I'm going to flip these. So I've got x cubed over y squared times y over x cubed. So the x cubes go away. I've got 1y on top, 2 y's on bottom. It becomes 1y. So what's on top? Well, I've made a 1. This is a 1 and a 1. So 1 times 1 is 1 over y. 1 over y. Okay, remember, I'm always making 1s. So it's not that they go away, it's that I'm making a 1. So there's always a 1 there. So here we go again. I'm going to flip this, make the reciprocal of it. So I have 4a cubed bc all over bc squared bc. So there's no numbers. We're just going to get rid of the variables. So I'm going to go ahead and write them up here. There's no other a's, so I'm just going to write a cubed bc all over b c c. So one of the b's go away, one of the c's go away, and I get left with 4a cubed bc. I think I'm missing a c. Woo, I am. There's another c down there, so that would be c squared. Whew. So glad somebody caught that. There we go. 4a cubed, c, there we go. Now it's correct. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So we're going to flip this. Okay. So I get 6a cubed over 4b squared times 12b squared all over 2a squared. So 2 goes into 2 once, into 6, 3 times. 4 goes into 4 once, into 12 3 times. B squared goes into B squared once and into B squared once. So there's 1 and 1. A squared goes into A squared once, and I have 1A left up here. So my answer becomes 3 times 3 is 9A. Okay, beautiful. All right. Oh, no, I don't have a fraction to flip. What am I going to do? Well, how do I turn a whole number into a fraction? I put a 1 underneath it. Beautiful. So I've got 6x squared y over 3y times 1 over 2xy. So 3 goes into 6. 2 times 2 goes into 2. So the numbers go away. And then I get my variable. So I've got x squared, x. Ooh, I'm doing so good today. Let's try this again. X times y in the top. And I've got x times y in the bottom. Or the denominator. Numerator and denominator. So the x goes away, y goes away. So I have an x in the numerator and a y in the denominator. And there is your answer, x over y. Okay, one more problem for this section. I told you once I switched the x and the, took the reciprocal of that second fraction, it becomes just like what I did yesterday. So, take the reciprocal. So I got 15x squared y squared over 3 times 1 over 3xy. So 3 goes into 15 5 times. X on the 1x on the bottom, 2 on the top, 1y on the bottom, 2 on the top. So I'm going to get 5xy over 3. Okay. All right. You're going to go do some problems now that just involve monomials. Then we'll come back and do some harder problems.